Oh, you're wonderful.
Shut up! You're looking forward to saying curse words and being miserable on purpose for weeks. Oh. Rich Drees considers himself a film columnist. In much the same way that I consider myself a cowboy astronaut millionaire. We do have to keep things moving along, though. Rich could only devote a few hours to the roast tonight. He has to hurry home and continue masturbating furiously to Buckaroo Banzai. Ladies and gentlemen, Rich Drees.
Sam Falvo. Who are you? Why should we care? Never mind, I don't give a shit. Ladies, gentlemen.
Oh, funny.
Distinguished guests, the rest of you assholes. Welcome to hour 13 of the Great Korin Roast. Not enough to get him out of the room. 6 years ago, when I hosted the roast for Greg's 50th birthday, I never thought that I would have a chance to roast him again. Not because I thought that no one would ever want to roast him again. It's just I didn't think he was going to live that much longer. For God's sakes, look at him. He's the only employee the casino gives odds on. At that roast, I called Greg an asshole and a fucking cunt.
Whoa!
But now, with the passage of years and a feeling of nostalgia brought on by his impending departure, I find that my opinion of him has changed. He is not an asshole and a fucking cunt. He's a fucking asshole and a cunt. But tonight it's not only an honor to roast Greg again, it is a fucking inconvenience. And what a great evening it is. If only Art Walsh had lived long enough to see it. As we salute Greg Korin, the man who sweats barbecue sauce and cheap beer. Greg, it is said that you are known by the company you keep. And looking around this dais and into the audience, I can see why you're moving across the country. It's nice to see Chris O'Donnell here. As you know, Chris was a working road comic back in the 1980s, right up until the market for Rich Scheidner impersonators dried up. I was afraid that was a little too inside. Brian Hughes. Minds do better radio. Walter Mitchell. You don't need to save everything. It's okay to flush once in a while. Paul Winarski is here. Of course, we all know Paul is the only man who can shave and still have a beard. Hi, Dawn. Nice to see Community Film Project President Jeff Fowler back there in the audience. Or as he's known in local filmmaker circles as Alfred Inchcock. Next to him is Jared Tobin. Careful ladies, his groin is a petri dish. It's also nice to see Alicia Grega, Pickle, Flaccid, Cougar Mellencamp, Schwartz, Gandhi, Baby Old Stockings, Louis Parsons, Schwartz. Alicia is the most widely read writer at The Weekender. That is, if your definition of being widely read is someone glancing at an article and going, oh, that ain't a titty bar ad. That ain't a titty bar ad. That ain't a titty bar ad. But she does a wonderful job at The Week... did I say The Weekender?
Yeah, you did.
She does a wonderful job at Electric City.
If I read her, I might know.
If I give a shit. Seriously, I mean, just because you open up to page 37 of this week's issue to find out, oh, comedy listings will be on page 39. And then you you turn to page 45 to find the comedy listings. Yeah. Oh, well, fuck it. And over there is Paul Clisham, a man who makes Eeyore look like a member of Up With People. And of course, our first roaster of the evening, Jeff Bohm. Jeff is the director of a short film called Chaplin's Body, which starred Greg here. Jeff has stated that the film played at Cannes, but I did some research and found out that it wasn't the film festival, but actually the Cannes Film Market the film played at. And that's kind of like jacking off in the alley next to a whorehouse and saying you got laid.
Well, you would know.
And tell your mom I want the $5. But I kid Jeff Bohm. It's just nice to see one of his kind get work out of Wonka's factory. Jeff is short, but he's got a 42-inch plasma flat screen TV at home, and he calls it IMAX.
I want to give you a hug.
That's a long page.
Where's your next joke, Gigantor?
And speaking of Chaplin's Body,
Oh, no.
out of all the Chaplin films that had to have been lost to history, why is it this one that survived? But that film is just one part of Greg's amazing body of work. How touched were you by his work as Kathy Bates' body double for the jacuzzi nude scene in Al Couchman? And can anyone here admit that they didn't tune in to Law & Order every week, hoping to see Greg in his recurring role of courtroom observer number 3? Let's face it. Greg is so low on the celebrity totem pole, you're probably wondering why he hasn't been asked to be on Dancing with the Stars. In fact, the producers were considering him for a spot on the show last season, but ultimately dropped the idea because they were afraid that viewers would confuse him with Chaz Bono. Yeah, that's fake too. In conclusion, I can only say this. A man walks into a talent agent's office. Have I got an act for you, he says. It's the world's greatest stage act. You have to hire him. Well, says the agent, what's the act? Well, first we start off with an orchestra playing There's No Business Like Show Business. And then out comes a married couple. They seem quite ordinary and nice. And then they come out on stage, disrobe, and begin having sex all over the place. Different positions, what have you. He seems to be enjoying it. She has a look of doubt on her face the whole time. At one point, she's even reading a magazine. Next comes, no pun intended yet, a guy who could be 15 or he could be 40. It's hard to tell due to his inability to grow a full, proper beard. Anyways, the guy starts having sex with a succession of increasingly younger, underage girls until he is finally getting a reverse cowgirl from a fetus. As that reaches its climax, a fat guy shows up and begins masturbating furiously all over the place. On top of the married couple, the bearded pedophile, the pit orchestra, across the first floor of the audience, first floor. I should have written that better. Across the first 4 rows of the audience, everywhere he's masturbating furiously. It's like a Gallagher concert of jizz. Next, an old man comes onto the stage, and in front of everyone, rapidly degenerates into senile dementia, and then falls over. For the finale, they all stand up, speak a weird foreign language, and set themselves on fire. The talent agent is speechless for a moment, and then he finally asks, well, that's a hell of an act. What do you call it? One laugh at least. But seriously, Greg, I mentioned times leader, and you described yourself as and your role in the group as the funny fat guy. And then you cited Belushi and several others, all of whom are no longer with us. I'm glad to see that you have beaten that trend, even though it means you are heading out to greener desert pastures. Thank you so much for the laughs and having a few occasions to get up on stage and play along with you. It's been a blast.
Thank you, Rich. Go fuck yourself.